Okay guys, welcome back. So in the last video I explained a new concept on the theory of friction. So in this video I will be talking about another new concept in which the force is applied to the bottom object and friction is present between both the objects, both between the objects and between the bottom object and the floor. So let's take an example. I'll take the same masses and I will give the same force as before. So these are the two masses. Alright, so what I will do is that now I will take this mass as 4 kilograms as before, this 4g, right, and this mass is 10g, right, 10g, and what I will do is I will provide a force of 8 newtons here, force of 8 newtons, right. And we consider this as a zero. It will plane like this, right? And what actually happens is that we have to find the forces. I'll take the take the coefficient of friction same, right? Coefficient of friction same. I'll take here mu equals 0.25 and here mu equals 0.25. So the coefficient of frictions are same. That doesn't mean that the friction is same, right? That doesn't mean the friction is same because the masses are different, right? So I'll take the now if this object is if a force is applied on this object in this direction, its frictional force will be in this direction. I'll take this as F1. So the frictional force, the composition of F1 on this object will be on this direction. F1. Right? Now, when this object, now due to this frictional force that is acting on this object tends to move in this direction. This object tends to move in this direction. Now, when this object is tending to move in this direction, what actually happens is that this horizontal plane will make a frictional force on this object this side. Now in the previous videos you didn't feel this because there was no friction between the bottom object and the surface, but here now this force, frictional force which acts as a hindrance to this object, is now a force to this object to move in this direction. So now when this object is moving in this direction, what actually happens is that if there is friction in this plane will make a friction on this side, say F2, so the friction on this plane will be towards this side. So I will not mark that. That is not necessary actually. So these are the forces that are acting on the object. Now what we have to find is what is the acceleration of these individual masses, right? Individual masses, and if the two masses are going as a composite or as a unit, what is the acceleration of this as a whole, right? So to find the acceleration, first of all we have to find the frictional forces. Alright. To find F1, now I will put F equals mu r to, I will take this object as A and this object as B. I will put F equals mu r to A first. F equals mu r, or FF equals mu r, right, to A. A is the top of the object that is above, right, above B, right. So the frictional force we will calculate. So R is equal to 4G because now this R1, I will take this one as RA and this one as RB, right, RA and RB. So RA is the normal force acting on A1 and RB is the normal force acting on B, right. So if you put F equals mu r to object A in the vertical direction, RA will be equal to 4G, which is its weight. So I'll take G as 10, so RA is equal to 10. G is equal to 10, so RA will be equal to 4 times 10, 40 newtons. So the coefficient of friction has been given as 0.25. So this is 0.25 times R, which is equal to 40. So that is equal to 10 newtons. Frictional force on A, or FF1 I'll take, right? FF1 is 10 newtons. Alright. Now considering B, now when you are considering B, if you are going to calculate the frictional force on B, you are not only to calculate the mass on this one, right? The mass on the object which is the mass of 10 kilograms. Because now this 4 kilograms, now A is on B, right? A is on B means A is already exerting a force of 4g, which is its weight, on B, right? A has, even though B doesn't have mass, A has already exerted a force of 4g on B, right? So that 4g will be acting on B, and besides that 4g, there will be another 10g due to B's weight. So the total force that is acting on B is not 10g, it will be 4g plus 10g, which is 14g, right? So g is equal to 10. So if you put F equals ma to this object, F equals ma to B, RB will be equal to RB minus 10g minus 4g, right? This is like this. If you put F equals ma to B, right? F equals ma to B, what happens is, now RB is on this side, right? It is positive, minus 4g is already acting on B. 4g, whether B has mass or not, 4g is already acting on B, so that is minus 4g. And since this has a mass, now 10g is also acting on B, so its weight will be down, so we are subtract 10g as well. And considering that this object doesn't have a vertical acceleration, ma will be 0, so RB will be 14g, right? 4g minus 10g, we are taking the other side 14g, so I will take g as 10, so RB will be equal to 140 newtons. 140 meters. Right. So we found RB, so we have to find F2 or F2. So I'll put F equals mu r to B, right? To B. F equals mu r. So mu is equal to 0.25. R is equal to 140. So this is, I'll take FF2. FF2 is equal to, so 0.25 is 1/4. That times 140 is 70 and 35. Okay, 35. So the forces that are acting on this object are as follows. So for A, when we are selecting A, we have to draw the forces. We have to draw the forces we found, because in order to understand the motion or the behavior of these objects. So for A, a force of 8 newtons here, and F1 we calculated as 10, so force of 10 newtons in this direction, right? For B, I will not draw the vertical forces because they are unnecessary for the object's calculation, because there is no acceleration in the vertical direction. If there is acceleration only in the horizontal direction, so I will draw only the horizontal forces. So for B, this object, so F1 is acting in this direction, right? F1 is acting in this direction, so if we calculated F1 to be 10 newtons, so 10 newtons is acting in this direction, and F2 is acting on the other direction, which is opposite to this direction, right? So F2 I calculated 35 newtons, so this is 35 newtons. Alright, so this is as follows. So if you put F equals ma, now you can put F equals ma to A, because now the total applied force on A is 8 newtons, and the total opposing force or the total frictional force acting on this object is 10 newtons. So the total frictional force is greater than the total applied force. So as I mentioned in the first video, first of the videos on this series of videos on friction, if the total applied force is less than the frictional force or equal to the frictional force, the object will not move. So this object won't move, right? If I consider in B, the total applied force, actually we didn't apply a force due to the frictional force was applied of 10 newtons, right? So the total applied force on this object, whether we applied or whether the friction applied, the total applied force on this object is 10 newtons, and the total opposing force on this object is 35 newtons. So this object will also not move because the total applied force will be less than the total friction force. Alright. So what actually happens is, in the last video, when this friction was not there between the large object or the object which is below and the floor, we calculated that if the total applied force on A total force force applied on A is greater than frictional force, these two objects will move as a unit. Now what actually happens is, now this object can't move as well as this object can't move. Now in the first of the series of this video, we found that we have a force of say 10 newtons here, but due to because flow was frictionless, this 35 newtons of the frictional force which is opposing this was not present, right? It was not there. So what actually happened was there was only force. The only force that was there in this object for this object was 10 newtons, so this object could accelerate. So if this object could accelerate and this object is on this object, the two objects can move as a system. Now since both these objects can't move, so the total acceleration of the system will be 0, and the individual acceleration of both these objects will be also 0. So in this video we talked about instances in which there's friction between both the surfaces. That means the surfaces between the two objects and the surfaces between the large object and the flow, and what happens to the object when some force is given on the top object, right? So in the next video I will be talking a similar problem in which the frictional force will be, so the total applied force will be able to make this object move. So see you then.